In some parts of the country, particularly in classified arsal areas, drought has been the biggest problem. Lack of adequate rainfall or no rainfall at all has caused insurmountable suffering to the masses. Hunger and lack of water have become a major problem to both human, livestock and wildlife. In the past months, the ravaging drought has led to death of livestock, leaving farmers and pastoralists counting losses amounting to millions of shillings. For counties in the former Northern Frontier District and in the far rift like West Pokot, Samburu and Turkana, effects of the drought have been evident. School-going children have been forced to skip classes due to unbearable hunger pangs, with parents forced to feed them on wild fruits, at least to count a day or two. As this happens, farmers in the country's breadbasket of North Rift and surrounding areas have been forced to hoard their maize produce in the granaries on account that prices are not favorable. Millions of bags of maize have been harvested by farmers in this season, but poor prices continue to stop them from selling the produce to the government through the National Cereals and Produce Board. And this would have helped meet the requirements of the National Strategic Grain Reserve. But now, what should be done to mitigate the current situation?
And whether it is Europe or US or now China, it's always the same. We need Africa to be impoverished.
Is the introduction of GMO foods the solution to this problem?
I am saying do not force GMO on us just because for the time being we've been hit by drought.
We consider the decision to lift the ban on GMO foods and their importation a betrayal of our country. On this, the Ruto administration is not working for Kenya.
Until we are agreed as a country that we can have GMO, we will not have GMO. Until we develop our own local varieties using our own local expertise.
We, in the Azimio la Umoja coalition, want to state categorically that this decision, which has been made without deliberation or public participation, will have far-reaching and catastrophic implications for the Kenya's agriculture, for the health of the Kenyan people, and our environment.
Okay, look at it this way. What is GMO? These are genetically modified foods derived from organisms whose genetic material has been modified in a way that does not occur naturally. For example, through the introduction of a gene from a different organism. Civil societies across the world and activists have been up in arms against the introduction of GMOs in their respective countries. This has been evident in Europe, the Americas, Asia, and some parts of Africa.
I lived in America. Have you seen the size of Americans? GMO is not something that is good for us right now. And even if it's is being used as an intervention, what are we doing to further not have to need this intervention? Listen to this Zambian minister's explanation keenly.
Look at our varieties. Typical African. It's so nice, all colors. All this will be wiped out through the GMO.
Although access to sufficient amounts of safe and nutritious food is key to sustaining life and promoting good health, unsafe food containing harmful bacteria, viruses, parasites, or chemical substances can cause more than 200 different diseases, ranging from diarrhea to cancers.
We have so many things that can kill us in this country. Being in this country, you are a candidate for death. And because there's so many things competing for death, there's nothing wrong with adding GMO to that list.
Oops, did you hear what the CS Trade, Mr. Moses Kuria, said? Perhaps he was just trying to tell Kenyans that the deal on importation of GMO foods and maize by the government and her suitors is sealed. And sasa mutadunini.
This is a subject we have discussed extensively, and that is the reason why I hired Moses Kuria.
That is why we have deliberately decided to allow GMOs into this country.
This may just be one of the 1,000 ways to die, but we can avert it.
We want to pay particular exception of how the cabinet minister has addressed Kenyans in this matter. We feel it was distasteful and disrespectful to the Kenyans to joke about life and death, and even if it is an issue which could be taken as a joke, it would be wrong to bring about statements whereby we trivialize death, trivialize suffering, trivialize insecurity. For this reason, we feel, irrespective of the matter in case, in consideration, would request honestly that the Kenyans deserve respect and not spite. And in this matter, they do deserve an apology.
Now take a look at this.
Haya, look at this. Organic shelf, angalia. Organic empty. Miaka kamoja. This one, haka. Haya, ile kile GMO. Hiyo ndio GMO. Mnataka kula GMO? Ndio hii hapa. Haya, angalia, walabi wanayapa GMO. Walabi wanayapa GMO. Angalia. Organic ndio hiyo. Ile mbegu mnataka kuua. Na ile imebaki tu. Na ile imebaki ndio hiyo.
Does it ring a bell? This video was shot in the USA by Kenyans living there, and they know how dangerous GMO foods are and why the people of that country have no time for them.
Haya, organic, angalia ka size. Unaona ka size? Hii ni organic. So, hapa ngoja. Hii ni organic, ni organic. Haya, weka hapa. Ile nyingine, acha uone ile nyingine. Angalia size. Angalia buffalo. Hii buffalo ni $2. Endeleni na GMO.
In a civilized country like Kenya, any decision that has far-reaching health implications on the lives of her people has to be made in a humane and well-thought manner. Or better still, have the public opinion before implementing it.
Decisions of this magnitude cannot be left entirely to the cabinet, the way the government works, unless it is changed. The policy are formulated in the ministries by the technocrats. Then they go to the cabinet by way of sessional papers or cabinet memoranda. The cabinet debates and approves. Then those documents must come to parliament.
And to farmers, I think this will hurt them more.
Wizara ya kilimo na wizara ya viwanda inatakana kujua kwamba hii ni msimu ambao sisi wakulima wa mahindi ndio tunavuna mahindi. Na ingekuwa ni heshima sana kwa wakulima wetu kutoleta mahindi kutoka nje hadi serikali ifungue NCPB na ianze kununua mahindi yetu.
In 5 years' time, if this is made a reality, farmers will be left hurting, crying, and the fertility on their farms will be no more. And
angalia, hii ni kuku. Hii ni kuku. Endeleni kukula hiyo vitu. Angalia. Sasa hii. Ati season. Angalia mguu papa kuku gani anashana hivi. Unaona? Hii ni tayo kuku inakaa kama ya bata. Kuku gani anashana hivyo? Angalia tena. Bonge la kuku. Hii ni kuku gani?
that is exactly where we are headed if we will not use our ears well. Listen, reflect, and think.